Hello and welcome back to Bookish Brits. My name is Michelle and today's video is going to be a follow-up video to a video I made recently about non-fiction guides for teenagers that I did during Mental Health Awareness Week. My intention was always to do a follow-up video discussing one other thing that I didn't mention in that original video, but it was something that I felt was going to be really emotional and I didn't want to overload that first video, so I thought I'd split it into two different parts, and then life kind of carried me away and I never got around to posting that during Mental Health Awareness. What are you gonna do, right? So just as a recap, recently I did a video in which I recommended 3 non-fiction guides to help teenagers deal with mental health. And one of the videos that I discussed was this one. It's Mind Your Head by Juno Dawson with advice from Dr. Olivia Hewitt and illustrated by Gemma Coral. In the video I read out, in the video, I explain that Juno Dawson, as part of writing this book, carried out a survey in which lots of different people discussed anonymously their experiences with all sorts of different mental illnesses. I took part in that survey, and some of my quotes or experiences were included in this book. I read out one quote in the previous video that I did, but I've actually been quoted I think at least twice, if not 3 times in the book itself. I think twice, but I couldn't be safe for sure. So I thought today I would read out the second one that I know of for sure and then talk a little bit more about that. Okay, so as I said, Mind Your Head by Juno Dawson. This chapter is about seeking help. She talks about lots of different sources that you can look to in order to seek help or support, informally, formally, so like your GP, a teacher, parents, friends and family. You can check online, and there's lots of different things that are suggested. Okay, so there's this section here called Books, TV and Film, and this is where I have my quote. Okay, so that's the context. So I wrote, I turned to books mostly for help, not just issue books that dealt with the things I was going through, but other happier books that allowed me to escape from my own problems. There was a non-fiction book about self-harm called A Bright Red Scream by Marilee that I came across by accident in my school's library. I feel strongly that this book saved my life. It was the first time I realized that other people were going through similar things, and that there were other people out there in the world who also inflicted pain on themselves like I did. It was the first time in a really long time that I didn't feel so alone. After this, I sought out other books about depression and about eating disorders in order to help and educate myself. So, Past Me was pretty open in this anonymous survey for this book. So I was very surprised when I got this copy and realized that I'd been quoted several times in this book. No idea if it helped other people or not, but it was quite a cathartic thing anyway to think about my own experiences with mental illness throughout the years, and also to write down those things. A couple of years ago, I did end up buying my own copy of A Bright Red Scream by Marilee, which is the book that I mentioned in this book, in Mind Your Head. A Bright Red Scream is, just as I said, it's a non-fiction guide. So I think the author is a journalist, and she just decided after writing a story maybe to do more research into self-harm. She calls it self-mutilation. So the like the subtitle here is Self-Mutilation in the Language of Pain. And it really is just her experiences of, I guess, getting into like I don't know, they just like the experiences. I don't remember it. It is a very difficult book for me to read. I did try reading it before a few years ago, and it was very triggering for me, so it wasn't something. So I got maybe 18 pages in, you can see where my bookmark is, and it just brought up too many feelings of yeah, it was a bit hard for me to read, so it's not something that I will be returning to, but it feels nice to have the book that saved my life on my shelves anyway. So I read this when I was in my my teens. I was maybe 16 or 17 at the time. I was going through a really difficult period in my life. I was feeling really alone. And then I found this book, and it was by accident, and what this book did for me is it allowed me for the first time to see that I wasn't alone. Up to that point, I didn't really feel as though I could talk to my parents about how I was feeling. I didn't really feel like I could talk to my friends. I really didn't think that I could talk to anyone else in my life, not teachers, not doctors, nobody. So it was something that I was carrying around for a long time, and I just felt like I was the only person in the world who was feeling the intense pain that I was feeling at the time. And this book helped me realize that no, actually, I'm not, and it helped. It felt like somebody had thrown me a lifesaver, because what I realized at the time is if I'm not alone in this, I might not be alone in all the other things that I was struggling with at the time as well. And whilst I didn't seek professional medical help at the time, I think that reading other books about depression and about eating disorders that I found after reading this book really helped me as well. And when I was in a safer, more stable place in my life, I was able to reach out and get that medical professional help that I really needed. So I think that books in particular, whether they're the escapist books that you're reading for pleasure or like the really serious stuff as well, can really help. So this book saved my life, but books under other circumstances has saved my life in numerous ways as well. So I think that whilst I was just going to talk about this one particular instance in this video about a mental illness, I think that books just generally have that power to save as well. So I feel like I'm rambling here, and it could be just that I'm feeling nervous, I guess, to talk about this so openly. I'm not really sure, but let me know what you think. Maybe virtual hugs are always nice. Until next time, take care.